Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be showing you how to use TradingView like a pro and just overall how to use TradingView better because the way that it's designed it's not very straightforward and it's not very functional, but um, I mean it's very functional except it just has some flaws that are not super direct and easy to find, and also it's going to be some tips on if you're struggling with mentally if you're struggling mentally with trading. um, this is kind of what you have to do. All right, so first off, all right, you are going to want to create a strategy. All right, this is the most big feature in TradingView in the entire thing. All right, in the entire, you can create an indicator, all right, or a combination of indicators that creates a strategy that you can test your strategy on. This is one of my strategies. It's pretty darn nice. 62% accurate, 2.75% with a 2.75 sharp profit factor, sorry. And it'll do 90% within a year. So I'm very happy about that. I'm pretty content. So I actually use an algorithm to buy and sell for me, but that's not the point. I'm just going to show you what I technically do. Right, so this is shorting the S&P 500. This is going long the S&P 500. So basically, in combination with these two algorithms, it trades for me. So that's why I have all these like really funky alerts over here because it's going straight to my server. But that's besides the point. I used to trade on TradingView for about a year and a half before I started coding. So yes. So I'm just going to tell you. So what you guys want to do is start to make these strategies right here. As soon as you have a strategy, you're going to want to be able to tune the strategy to its best ability. So if you come over here to this gear icon, come up here, you're going to want to set the slippage to 1 because that, well, if let's say you're not planning to sit at the computer all day, I recommend a slippage of 2. All right, and the entire point of slippage is to basically um, account for user error or price price changes for 10 cents. So um, let's say that you're at school and it's gonna send you an alert on your phone, and once you get the alert, then you're going to get in the trade. I'd recommend a slippage of 2 or 3 just to account for the time delay between you actually putting in a trade or taking out a trade and getting in. Um, but for my algorithms, they almost get in instantly, but just as a backup, I set the slippage to 1, so I can adjust for it, but it's more like 0 because they do it automatically at the speed of light. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of what the slippage actually does. Let me zoom in real nice right here. All right, so you can kind of see these little arrows right here. These sideways arrows they buy and they sell at those 2 points. So if I take my slippage, you can kind of see them move in the opposite direction. So if I have a slippage of 15, it's going to adjust for the slippage of 15, and the price is going to be 20. I mean, $1.50 higher than where it originally thought it was going to get out. So this is a whole nother thing, but use this to your advantage to actually test your strategies, and if they work, which I recommend, if they do work, I recommend a profit factor above 2, above 50% accurate, and it beats the market. So another thing that you can do is, what you can do to basically profit off this is you can use this buy and hold return thing. So it'll compare your algorithm to the current market that it's trading in. And I recommend you set this on percentage and not absolute, because if it's on percentage, it counts for the different prices. Um, it accounts for the different amount of money if you're putting in, let's say, um, oh, you have $10,000 and you're putting it into an account, then you put in another 5,000. If you were to do absolute, if you were to do that, it would be on a dollar scale, and you can see like it doesn't start at 0, it starts at 10,000. So that's not what we really want to do. We kind of want to have it be compared to the overall market that's trading in. So you can see the market's been going down and the strategy has been going up. Another good thing that you can do is use the performance summary. So a Sharpe ratio above 0.8 is going to make you money. So if you have a profit factor, I'm not going to say you're going to make money, but I'm very much for my quantitative fund myself, if the rules are you have to be above 55% accurate, you have to have a profit factor above 2.3, and you have to have a Sharpe ratio above 0.8. And I know that I kind of contradicted myself there, but if you have those numbers, which trading is just gambling, it's all statistics and numbers, you will make money. And I'm not going to guarantee that, but I mean, it's worked for me. And it literally, I don't do it like all day long. In fact, it'll just trade for me. And I'll show you guys some trades later, but yes. All right, another really powerful thing that you can do is, I know that people probably set, oh yeah, also, if you're using a strategy, don't use any other candle strategies, only use candles because they're not real prices. So you're not getting, look at what happens if I do Helsinki. It automatically makes my strategy that much better. It may automatically makes the strategy really, really good. Even though it's the same settings on the same everything, but they're not real prices. And I struggled with that for a long time, so please just use candles. I know it will look worse, but that is the real prices that you're going to get in that. All right. Another thing is by using this performance summary over here. If we look at this performance summary, we can see the Sharpe ratio right here. This Sorento ratio I don't really like because nothing is very clear on the documentation of the Sorento ratio. If you guys can tell me exactly what it means, I would be great. It would be great if you can tell me in the comments below, but it's perfectly fine if you can't, because I've done a lot of research and this is not a real statistical, I mean, it's real and statistical in some algorithm and it uses math, but it's not as reliable as profit factor, and it's not as simple as profit factor and Sharpe ratio. You will, okay, if your Sharpe ratio is above 1, which is industry average, right, for trading, you pretty much will make money, all right? And if you have a profit factor above 2, you will make money too. And if you have a higher accuracy rate, it'll help you not get into a gutter in your mindset, right? Another thing, all right, that you can do is start to draw the lines. I know that most of you guys already know how to do this, but let's say if I go on the minute time scale here. So, okay, let's say if I go like this, I can easily look for a trend by coming over here, go trend line, connect to this bottom piece. So connect the candles. So you either have to choose the candles or the wicks right here. You either have to choose the wicks or the actual candle itself to create a strategy. All right. So let's say that I go like this. I can actually see here. Actually, TradingView has a thing here that'll automatically do it for me. I'm just going to do that. It's called Regression Trend. Go like this. Boom. All right. That's simple. All right. So now I could see if it was in the red, it would be goodbye, or if it continued to go down, which honestly I think it's going to continue to go down. So I'm not going to buy in right now, but maybe my algorithms will. Probably. All right. That's another thing. Also, you can plan your trades with this little tool right here. If, let's say, you want to get in right here and you have your stop loss 0.66%, a 0.6%, I recommend having a take profit 2 times greater than the risked amount or above. So let's say I want to set my profit target at this resistance right here, this green SMA right here, because as you can tell, it's used it as a resistance in the past. So right there, it used it as a support. This morning, it used it as a resistance. So if, we technically replay the bars, and I know that this is kind of cheating, but it does work. So if we go, and this will get me to the next thing that I'm going to talk about, which is this bar candle updater right here. Buys, hits, take profit. All right, yeah, I know it's not very useful, especially after the fact, but I'll tell you what, it still works. All right. Another thing that you can use is this long. I'm actually going to go on a different time. I'm actually going to go on a different thing really fast. I know that this strategy is garbage, but I have not even touched it in a long time, so I'm not too disappointed in it. All right. By the way, no one buy Lux Algo. Lux Algo is pretty garbage, gotta admit, especially from a user point of perspective, because basically I recreated one of their strategies and it's garbage. But this will work better on the long term. So, I mean on the 1 minute or the long term. So let's go to a day. You can start to see how all of your trades are doing. So let's come back here. Right? I can, if I click this bar thing, right, if I click this replay button right here, it'll bring up this, and I'll basically select a spot in the past that I want. So I can see my strategy acting in real time. Buy, sell, buy, sell. We have 100% accuracy right now, but if I let this run, it will continue to basically run for me. So we're just going to call that. All right. So as you guys can kind of see, you can see the algorithm trading kind of in real time, but across multiple days. So I don't know. I like to watch it because it's really nice to watch. All right, and then I usually recommend having over 100 back-tested trades. Otherwise, you're not getting a large enough data set. And if you don't get a large enough data set, then you're pretty much just screwed because it's not representative. Well, you guys all learn this if you're in high school. Well, I'm in high school, but currently we're learning about representative data sets. Like if someone were to come into your classroom in an algebra class, and if someone were to come in your classroom in an algebra class, and they were to basically say, take this test, and then we're going to compare you to a college student. It's not a representative. What you need is a representative, like another classroom of the same time. So as you can see, the strategy is actually pretty profitable, but I don't know, it works. All right, those were my few tips and tricks for using TradingView, kind of like a pro, but trade with no motion. Honestly, if I had these stats right now, if I had these stats right now, you got to trade with no motion. All right, if you know your strategy works, you know it works, and I wouldn't be too worried just in general, because right here, I know that this is a kind of shitty strategy. Sorry. I know that this is kind of a bad strategy, but if you know that it works, statistically, the strategy works. I would not be nervous if it took a few percent of a loss, especially if it's your first time in. You got to think about the probability coin flip. All right, if it lands on heads, the first time, there's a 25% chance that it'll land heads the next time, which means that there's a 75% chance of it being tails twice in a row. That means there's a 75% chance of it being tails the next time that you flip the coin. Yeah, so you got to think about that. So if you're just coming off of a winning trade and you have an 85% accuracy rate, I'm going to tell you the odds right now, all right? If you have an 85% accuracy rate, all right, so 0.85 times 0.85. Hold on. So actually, you'd still be in the clear. But I mean, what about my usual strategy? So let's say 0.6 times 0.6. That means I have a 36% chance of winning twice in a row if I use it for my strategy. So don't beat yourself up if you're coming off of a winning streak and you finally get in and you lose, because statistically the odds were not in your favor. And if I were to do that again, times points, if I times 0.6, so let's say I won twice in a row, I have a 21% chance winning. Say if it does it 3 times in a row, I have a 12% chance of winning. So it's even slimmer, which means on the third winning trade in a row, that means that there's an 88% chance that I'm going to lose that next trade. All right, so don't beat yourself up, guys. Stick to your strategies if it works. All right, see you later if it works.